Here, this is H. Victoria Hager Atkerson. I'm an author and a writer, and I wanted to bring you back to where we were last week. We were talking about writing, and I'm trying to encourage you to write because it's a African tradition that we need to honor and pay homage to by applying this skill to our daily lives. Storytelling and writing are our history, and we need to embrace it and make it a part of our daily lives and our history. Pass it on to our children, encourage it in our children any way we can. But choose a topic that you're passionate about and write about it. It doesn't have to be a big topic. It could be something very small at first. Then you want to build on that. But the important thing here is for you to start writing, okay? All right, now, once you decide on a topic that you want to write about, I want you to think about why you're passionate about this thing and where you're going to get your information from. There are many, many avenues for you to explore. You have your own personal experiences. You could write about something in your childhood, as I did with Buttermilk Bottom, right here. This came from my childhood, and that's my personal history. This story came from my work experience, working with dependent, neglected children. And we have Stones Along the Path that also came out of part of my history, which was in the Peace Corps, which I based the main character on. She was a Peace Corps volunteer. And also with a dream of mine to visit Africa, which I never did. But I did go to Brazil and experience that culture, which is very Afrocentric, because there are more blacks in Brazil than there are in the United States. It's the largest population of Africans outside of Africa. Okay, so what else? What was I saying? I know. We were talking about where you get your information from. It could come from personal experiences, as I did in my books, or you could do interviews. One of the things I love to do is to talk to people about their love life and their personal experiences, their family histories, things of that sort, because you get a good inside track on how people act, react, and you also get a great idea about how families interrelate, and it's like golden territory. Talk to people, ask them, explain to them, I'm a writer. Would you mind if I interview you? And tell them about what you're thinking about writing about, if you have anything in mind, or you just let them know it's a general topic you want to explore. But it's an excellent tool, to gain information and insight into human behaviors. The other thing that I ask you to do, which is one of my favorite things to do, is to observe people. A lot of times you will get more information on human behavior just by observing rather than talking to people, because people are more guarded when you talk to them directly, or if they know that you are observing them. I'd like to travel a lot, and what I like to do is to see if I can grasp the personalities of people even before I talk to them. I like to watch them, how they walk, how they stroll around from place to place, and then you kind of wonder, why does he walk that way? Why does she look that way? What is behind that smile? What is behind the frowning face, or what could have happened to this person to bring them to the point where they are. But observation is a tremendous tool to get information about people, and then pretty soon you'll be able to define people in your mind, as to who these people are. And it could be right or wrong, it doesn't matter, but the main thing you have to do is interpret human behavior, styles, emotional states, just where they are as they relate to the world around them. Do they seem self-sufficient? Do they seem like a snob? I mean, how do they relate to the world around them? And these are things you can pick up just by looking at people. And even to watch people in a group, which is another favorite thing that I love to do, to see how people react and interact between each other. There's always a leader in a group. There's always a antagonist. There's always a person who may be a, what you call, passive-aggressive person. So you kind of look for different personalities and start studying how groups form and why people react certain way in group situations. So that's another thing. The other valuable skill you need as a writer is to do research. And right off the bat, most people think of the library. It is a fabulous wonderland of information, and never ever neglect it because it's like golden territory for a writer. The other part of studying and research, like library, people don't think of it as much, is your family records. Photo albums, letters from people who have written to your mother, your uncles, your aunts. We have a tremendous amount of letters that we've written over the years to different relatives. And one of the things that I love to do is sit down and read those letters because some of them are so fascinating. I mean, I have a cousin who wrote my aunt when he was in the service overseas. And this was like during the 50s. And he writes about what he was experiencing there. And then another time at a later date, he writes about his life in Washington, D.C. And he talks about his life in D.C. and some of the things that happened to him. But this is golden areas of research that we don't even touch upon. But you must take a look at those things because it's very critical to your writing. And think of photo albums, personal diaries, if you can get your hands on them. If the people are dead, don't try to write anybody. Don't try to read anyone's diary that's living. I think that's an invasion of privacy. Okay, but and also you want to think of writing to look on the internet. I think we all Google everything these days. It's a great way to get information. And you also have the Library of Congress, which is a magnificent place to do research. Go there if you can in Washington, D.C. It is a fabulous place to be and the ultimate of libraries. I mean, it's ours. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Go there and enjoy it. Get a library card. It's very distinguished. You can say, I'm a member of the Library of Congress. It's really cool. And the other thing that I have used over the years, and I used a great deal when I wrote this book, Bottom Up Bottom, the Atlanta History Center. There's a history center in every town. There's also history centers dealing with different religions, different faiths, different nationalities. So look at those resources. You'll be surprised what you find. Okay, now, I want to wish you a happy day, and hopefully you'll enjoy your writing experience, and I hope you have picked up that pen and pencil and started a wonderful project, and hopefully you'll share it with me one day. If you have any questions, please write them on my website, or you can write them at the bottom of this page. There's a comment section you can write on. And while you're there, I want you to look at the subscribe button. It's all in red letters. Push that for me, okay? That way they will notify you whenever I post a video. It's really important that you do that for me, okay? I want you to have a great day, and we are still in COVID-19. Don't be fooled. This is not over. We need to stay safe, stay away from crowds, be careful of the foods you eat, be sure to sanitize everything that you bring in your house. And one of the things that I always think of, also, I was thinking of the other day, I hadn't done it in a while, is to wash the doorknobs off in your house. I don't know why it came to me, but it did. You know, you wash everything that comes in your house from outside. And I like to use those Clorox wipes because they are just handy and they're excellent. But just wipe everything off. Of course, we all know to wash our hands because our parents taught us that, and no one has to tell us that because we do that normally, right? So you be safe and you take care, and God bless. I'll see you next week. God bless.